Today is Saturday, September 5th, and this is your farm garden tour. Last weekend, we did not get a farm garden tour in. We were in Underwood, Minnesota, at the 5th annual Woodchuck Weekend. That's where we cut, split, and stack wood to get my sister and her family through the winter. Good times had by all, and lots of work got done. There was a great big oak tree that was felled and cut up, and I've got some pictures I'll probably slide in here so that you can see all of the shenanigans.
Yeah, but we're not going to show the video of the tree falling the wrong direction.
Well, best laid
Actually, we
plans.
will,
So
because it was a good lesson.
it was a good lesson. No one was hurt
No, not
bringing
there.
the tree down. So we are currently at the north end of the garden, and these are my
Late
cute,
plants.
my cute but anemic looking sunflowers. They're only about, I don't know, 3-4 feet tall at most.
I think this variety, that's all the taller they were going to get. The taller ones are still coming.
Yeah, but there is a mix of about 5 or 6 different kinds.
Oh,
Some of
yeah.
these were supposed to get 12 feet tall.
I think that's
Uh,
what those big ones are.
yeah. So another lesson there. I got them in too late. So I think I might actually give it a try to put some seeds in the ground before it freezes hard here this winter and just see what happens because the volunteer ones did great. So we'll see. Either that or squirrels will come out here and dig them up and eat them as a snack.
Yeah.
So the potatoes, that foliage is essentially dead. There's some little bit of green left. We're just gonna leave these guys be. The key is to leave them in the ground for at least 2 weeks so that they can set their skins before you dig them. And as we mentioned in previous videos, uh, storage can be an issue with potatoes because they need to stay in a cool, dry place. Auntie Diane just drove by. They need to be in a cool, dry place. And right now, it's still too warm to get them through the entire winter.
Although with last night's temperature and with what's forecasted to come, they're saying we could see snow by mid-September. So
Yeah, we'll talk about that as we show you our project for this weekend at the south end of the garden. But let's move along. The bodacious has been done for a while, so there's not really much to talk about up here at the north end of the garden. But we do have this popcorn. It's called Glass Gem, and this is one of the really tall varieties. And we picked one today, and look at that. Isn't that cool? Now, obviously, this is immature, so by the time it is mature, all those kernels should be neat, different colors, but
yep.
that's going to be beautiful
Oh,
and
yeah.
really fun.
I can't
So,
wait to dry it and pop it
yeah, absolutely.
and grind it because this
And
will make
grind it.
good flour.
So then the next one was another sweet corn variety. About all that's left out here, the cobs that are out here are pretty much growing smut, and that's about it.
Well, actually, I pulled some back earlier. There's quite a bit in here we could do something with yet, and we may keep it for seed for next year. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. And then we have the ginormous Bloody Butcher. So that's doing what it's supposed to do. It's putting on cobs. These cobs are huge.
A giant.
Um, plants are huge. The cobs are huge. It's Paul Bunyan's corn.
Well,
So
here, do this. I mean, there's an iPhone. What is this? A
13.
13 Pro Max
Yeah.
next to a cob. I mean, yeah, that's a decent cob.
Yep. So yeah, that's that for
More
the
to come
corn.
on that later
Definitely.
when we start going through the shelling and grinding process.
Yep.
I think I've determined this stuff has got to be kohlrabi. I don't know how we got it, but two of them are now looking very baldish.
Yeah.
And this one for certain is kohlrabi.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's so.
As long as we're here, let's take a look at the peppers.
Oh,
I took a picture of two of the candy cane chocolate cherries that we picked
That one
earlier
bell
today.
is huge.
There is one here that's ripening. They're a funky looking pepper, but they seem to be really hardy. They ripen nicely without getting weird spots on them or anything like that, and they're super sweet. That bell pepper is insane. I think that's the only fruit that that plant has put on, which may be why it's so gosh darn big. But yeah, we've got. Do you want to pull one of the Kyoto Reds? And
Well, I'm pulling ones that are going to seed.
oh, okay.
So
So yeah, these are carrots. These are
I
some
don't
more.
think any of them are quite ready yet. I mean, they'd be really, really small yet.
Yeah,
So we got them in late. If we get even babies out of them, I'd be happy.
my mom harvested broccoli.
Boy, did she ever.
Yeah, she got a nice bunch of broccoli, and they were the nice tall heads. Um,
We'll put some photos in.
yeah, we'll put the photos of those in.
Oh, hey,
For
here
sure.
tall ones finally bloomed.
Oh, look at that! These marigolds I'd been waiting forever on. They're very tall, a single stalk, unlike some others that are in here. Um, Pretty robust stalk on that thing,
Well,
and
compared to
that's what
this
it looks
one.
like when it blooms. So here's some broccoli. These are smaller heads,
Yeah, we're not going to grow this
subsequent
variety
heads.
again next year.
This variety puts on a bunch of small ones. This is called the Desicchio broccoli.
Yeah,
It's the Godzilla broccoli that
yeah,
we
we like
ended up
Godzilla.
really liking because they put on
Ginormous
much
heads.
larger
Oh,
heads.
here's one as an example. That's probably only about a quarter of the way through its grow.
Yeah, so that'll get
Oh my goodness, we have a ton coming on.
four
Sweet.
times as big as that, and we prefer those over the little Desicchio ones. The Desicchio ones make nice little florets, yes, but they go to seed way faster. If you don't pick them the day that they need to be picked, they're going to go to seed. Over here, we had a cabbage explode,
You know,
which is weird. Um, I don't think that's pest, do you? Or is it pest?
I think that might be a rabbit.
Yeah, might be. We've seen a couple
I've been seeing lots of little
rabbit tracks.
deposits in the garden.
Yeah. And there's zinnias. They Mom needs to pick some more bouquets because there's
Yes, she
lots of
does.
zinnias out here.
Maybe we'll have to pick one for her.
True. Let's talk melons.
Melons. I love
Yes.
melons.
So Troy had talked about the weather. Last night it got down to 35 degrees. We
And
were not here because we were Joel had a concert.
his first concert.
Well, I mean he's played live
Right.
before,
Well, I
but
suppose with this band, this was their
yes.
first live
Yeah.
performance.
So we were at that last night, and my mom had covered tomatoes with some blankets and stuff. We'll see some evidence in a few minutes of some plants that got a little chilly, but the tomatoes are okay. So there are melons all over here. We just need
Which one
these
is this
little
one?
guys to ripen. This is a cantaloupe, but it's a super sweet variety. I think no, this is Halona.
Is it? Okay.
I think so. If you can
Yeah, yeah,
find
yeah. It is.
where the root goes
Because
into the
we did
tart.
3 of them in a row of
Yep.
Halonas.
And here's a Waller melon.
Waller melons.
These guys are just getting big.
Yeah.
Now they just need to ripen. So we've talked about ripening in the past. Let's see what we can find here. So if you look to the nearest
Right there.
curlicue, to the melon itself,
Should be this guy.
which is this guy, once he dries up and you have a nice yellow spot, then this should be ripe and ready to pick and eat.
And they are
It
some of
sounds
my
good,
favorites.
but we've done the knock test in the past, and we found that the most reliable way is to keep an eye on that curlicue. So these guys are not ready yet.
And we did find out through experience last year that the curly Q has to be dry all the way back to the main stem. If it's even a little bit out into that curlicue at all, it's not ripe yet. Yeah, that's Halona.
There's some nice Halona cantaloupes. There's one in here that I think is getting close, but
Yeah,
not
that was
ready
the
yet.
first one that set on, I think.
Yeah. Let's come over here and look at honeydew.
Honeydews.
Because this is the first year that we've had honeydew that's really, really produced.
And boy, is it producing.
Yeah. This one is getting close.
Yeah, it is.
I think we do the curlicue test with this one too. That's not
Yes.
even close. But we're excited. They are all over in here. I mean, last year,
So,
the honeydew plant that I planted was a variety that was small. They only got to be about the size of a small or softball size. And I think we only got 2. But this plant has, there's 4 right there.
right there, hun.
Yeah.
Right on your hand.
Yeah. Oh, look at how fuzzy he is. So yeah, there's a ton of them in here.
I'm showing you the leaf.
Oh, the leaf. Okay. Well, this got nipped last night. And you can see that as well. So what we're working on this afternoon is they forecast 37. It got down to 35. And one night earlier this week, it got down to, I think, 39.
And the further we get away from the trees, the more you'll see, especially on this plant and over on our blueprints, they really got nipped.
Yeah, they did.
And so we have so much fruit out here that we can't afford to let it go. So as you'll see when we get down towards the tomatoes, we have quite the job ahead of us yet today.
Yeah.
Because all this is getting covered.
These butternuts, there are a few in here that might be really close to being picked. This guy might be one of them. He can finish his ripening on the countertop.
And
He's
these
huge.
guys in particular can't get hit by frost.
No.
I mean, you can see by their plant
Yeah.
how horribly it got hit.
The rind on these is thin compared to, say, the blueprints. And once they get frosted, they're done. They're not salvageable. But these blueprints pumpkins, this one hasn't started turning blue just yet, but they have a very robust hide on them. And I had one that sat in our garage for months. I think it was into February or March, and it was still okay.
End of March when you cooked it.
Yeah. There's one sitting in water right there that we need to move because I don't want it to rot. So anyway, that's that. We got another couple of nice watermelons over here. And everywhere I go, I'm recording in my shadow. So I'll do better with that. But there's another blueprints.
That was the first one. And that's the most ripe at this point.
Yep. And there's some frost damage.
These poor plants.
So that's that.
This is gardening in northern Minnesota.
September 5th. We usually don't have the risk of frost at this point. And looking at the forecast for this upcoming week, the daytime highs are supposed to be in the 70s. The overnight lows are supposed to be in the 50s. So this is just an anomaly. But since we're only here Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, we've got to cover these so that we don't expect my mom to do this on her own.
This is way too big.
So we will
we
cover
didn't talk about the
and keep
acorns.
Everything safe. Even if it doesn't need to be covered, we'll at least know it is. There's an acorn squash that also has a decent thick hide on it.
That one is actually starting to dry.
Yeah. There you go. They can withstand a few cooler nights, but not a ton.
No, these guys we'll leave out here until it frosts, and then we'll harvest them all.
There's more zinnias. And here's some cabbages. So
I don't know if
There's
our reds are going to do much. Although
uh,
they still can grow for a very long time. Our greens are all pretty much done. I think
I
we'll
think
just end up harvesting them.
we'll
That
get
one's a nice
one
head.
purple.
That's right. Yeah. See, we got another. We got a rabbit.
uh, okay, well we won't
It's all
talk
right.
about what's gonna happen there. We'll just make it happen.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's something interesting. You see that butternut? What
Did it
in the world
explode?
happened there?
What the heck?
Kind of looks like it did explode. It doesn't feel like it froze though, so that's odd. We
No.
will
Take it inside and we'll cut it up and see what we can do with it. Not gonna throw it away. I mean, worst case scenario, it ends up in the compost.
Brussels sprouts are ready to be picked again. Get
Oh yeah.
another handful of those. And megaton cabbages, not as big as they were last year, but
Now this one really had a rough start. I mean, he this is the guy who was almost completely eaten by cabbage beetles and then regrew again.
mm-hmm. And check
Oh
this
no,
out.
I'm sorry. That was this one. Look,
Yeah,
but they're about the same size. So
this zinnia over here has a volunteer morning glory growing in and amongst
this
the
one
zinnia blooms.
I think is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. There's like 4 layers there.
Mm-hmm. Pretty
These are
wild, huh?
sweet. Well, we're definitely harvesting a bunch of seed heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to turn that zone back on so our celery
Celery.
doesn't go weird.
Yeah. Celery's doing great. Zucchini. Zucchini is doing just fine. And now we get over here and we talk about tomatoes. So I ran down to Menards earlier today and picked up plastic. And what we're doing is we've built kind of a framework here. We're just going to do a tent over these 3 rows of tomatoes to try and hold down the heat. I mean, at the ends will be open. We'll put some sort of a flap on the end that can be rolled up for airflow uh, during the day and then drop down at night. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't get pulled up during the day and dropped at night, it's not a big deal as long as it's down at night. And that should help keep some heat. Um, and that should protect these tomatoes. Yeah, if it hits 32, it's game over. If it stays at a sustained 32, it's likely the end of the road for the tomatoes. But
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
not if we get this structure up. I mean, that's kind of the point in doing it. Is
yeah,
oh, I'm sorry, I missed out on a bunch, didn't I?
no, that's if it hits 32 and these are exposed,
Yes.
they're toast.
Yeah.
So even with it getting into the 70s during the day, having the plastic over the top of them is not going to hurt them. Um, tomato, if it gets to 100 degrees inside there, that's not a problem. The tomatoes do need sunshine in order to help them ripen. So that's why we've got clear plastic so the sunlight's going to get in. The black tarps will help hold heat. So yeah, that's just what we're going to do to try and maximize these tomatoes. We've got a ton that are still green. We've got about 50 pounds in the garage that was picked earlier this week. And we've got picking to do today before we complete the structure. So that is what's going to happen. We got onions over here. These are
Yeah.
the only onions that are really doing well. Something I need to put some additional focus on next year. But those are some decent looking white onions. Some of the reds have gone to seed down here.
Yeah, I pulled a few of them earlier that had gone to seed.
But
So,
when you plant set onions, which are the little bulbs that you put in the ground rather than starting them from seed. The first year they grow a bulb. The second year, their whole purpose in life is to propagate. So that's why they go to seed the way they do. Trick is trying to harvest them and eat them before they get to that point. But even so, I mean, these are, standard what they call set onions, which are not the great big guys that you buy at the grocery store. They're by their nature smaller. We've used the onion tops in many dishes.
Oh yeah, you use
Um,
them in replace of a green onion.
yeah, pretty much the entire onion, the bulb and the stems are edible. Yeah, we've got we've got a lot of tomatoes. Um, these are Amish paste. There's some giants over there, a variety that I'm not even sure of. My sister started a lot of those. So we'll pull out what we can. We're really trying to leave the Roma tomatoes, which are primarily on that third row over there, leave them as long as we can on the vines to ripen, and we'll go from there. These guys are wild. They're kind of stripy, and then this one is a little past its prime. Well, it's got a little weirdness on the outside, but it feels like it's still a very solid tomato.
What's that one next to it?
This
To
one?
the right.
This?
Yeah. What variety is that?
I don't know.
Huh.
Huh.
I'm just not
Again.
sure if it's supposed to be an oranger tomato or is it truly a red?
Never really did anything with my pickling cucumbers this year. They didn't. I think I've determined that you really need 20-ish, 30-ish plants
Yeah.
of the pickling variety in order to have them produced to where you can have enough at the same time to pickle. So that's just kind of an experiment. These are more zinnias.
These are all saved ones from last year.
Yeah, they are.
Found that bag in the back of the truck.
Yep.
And when we were planting, I just threw them in the ground to put something in here. And I like them.
Yeah, there they are. So, yeah, that's about it. There's some Romas. Oh, I want to show you the Brad's Atomic Grape.
Yeah, that
What
thing is
a
cool.
weird tomato, but so fun. Look at that zinnia. Isn't that impressive? Cucumbers, they're still cuking, so not much to say there. Got to get in there and pick. We just got here this morning, so that is on the list. I'm walking through the jungle here, trying to make it to the Brad's Atomic Grape tomato. So this is the Brad's Atomic Grape. They're very deep purple, almost black, and you can't tell when they're ripe except for this reddish orange that you see on the bottom. And you kind of got to feel them. Like here, this guy's not ripe yet. There's no reddish orange on it. It's very hard. This one is softer. And it actually stays green inside. It's a very sweet tomato, but it's kind of cool, you know? In the Why the F Not garden, you grow purple, black tomatoes.
Because why the F not?
Mm-hmm.
That one actually is more yellow inside than the other one was.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny when your mom bit into the one. She looked at it and she's like, "Ah, it's green."
Yeah, but it's so sweet.
You know, exactly.
So yeah, Brad's Atomic Grape. Anyway, that is your farm garden tour for this weekend. I'll probably take some photos of whatever this haphazard, best we can do greenhouse is going to look like. And until next time, take care. I just thought this was too brilliant not to show. So Troy and I have been working on covering these tomatoes. Troy built a structure in here, stretched this mule tape all the way down to kind of fill in the gaps. Then we put a piece of plastic over that so that the plastic that we're covering the tomatoes with is supported and is not going to get poked. And then we just found a long cylindrical piece of foam that we put on the tops here so that the plastic can ride along the top of that and not poke through. This is pretty freaking engineered. All right, just wanted to share.